Good afternoon, Mr. Valle. You're going to need to keep your voice up. Okay? We are competing with the fan in the back, and I see the court reporter nodding. She's not able to hear you, so you need to stay close to the microphone, speak loud enough to be heard over the fan, and you've got to give a verbal response of some form, yes, no, or whatever the answer may be, but it has to be loud enough to be heard, okay?
Yes.
There we go. You and I have met before?
Yes.
And can you tell us how old you are now?
I'm 20 years old.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you one more time. You've got to keep your voice up. I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm sure the jurors are having trouble hearing you.
I'm 20 years old.
You're 20 years old now? Okay, did you recently turn 20 years old?
Yes.
And are you in school now?
I'm not.
Are you working now?
I'm not.
Did you complete high school? Where did you complete high school?
I finished online at Laurel High School.
And when did you finish online?
2023.
Where did you go to school for high school before that?
St. Joseph High School in Trumbull.
And were you at St. Joseph's High School from the time you were a freshman?
Yes.
Where were you before that?
It's at East Shore Middle School in Milford.
Is that a public school that you've just described? And the school that you went to for high school, St. Joseph's High School, is that a private school? Prior to going to St. Joseph's High School, had you been in the Milford Public Schools?
Yes.
Since you were a child?
Yes.
Did you grow up in Milford?
Yes.
Did you grow up anywhere other than Milford?
I lived in Florida for 2 years.
Anywhere else in Connecticut?
New Haven.
When you say you were in Florida for 2 years, was that before you came to Connecticut?
I was in Connecticut and then I moved to Florida for 2 years. And then I came back.
Okay. Did you go to any New Haven schools? Do you remember how old you were when you moved to Milford?
Very young. I can't remember the age.
Did you start your schooling in Milford or somewhere else?
Yes.
And who lived in your house with you as you were growing up?
My 3 brothers, my dad, and my mother.
And your 3 brothers, what are their names?
Raul, Derek, and Oscar.
Did you say the first one was Raul? You have a brother who's also named Raul. And can you just explain, is that a brother from, is that a half brother or is that a full brother?
Full brother. The name was passed down from my grandfather.
I see. And do you go by a nickname?
I do.
And what is that nickname?
Vito.
And what does that mean?
Like the younger?
Uh-huh, I see. Is that like Pablito or Carlito?
Yes.
I see. When you were at St. Joseph's High School, did you have a circle of friends?
I did.
And who was in that circle of friends?
Close to me, I would say James Albert, Tyler De Silva. Those were the 2 I was closest with. Everybody else was on the football team, and I was close with them too, but not as close.
That was Tyler De Silva and somebody named James Albert.
Yes.
When was the last time you saw Mr. Albert?
Yesterday,
And when was the last time that you saw Mr. De Silva?
here in court.
Did you have a girlfriend while you were at St. Joseph's High School? And who was that?
Kenzie Traficante,
And when did you and Ms. Traficante become involved with one another?
my junior year,
And what year was that?
2022.
Was that the 2021-2022 school year? And did you date Ms. Traficante the entire school year?
I'd say almost, not fully though.
And did you have any hobbies while you were in school?
Really just play sports, football, wrestling, hanging out with friends on the weekends or whenever I had free time.
Were you into fishing or hunting?
Yes,
Which of those, fishing or hunting?
my father.
You're not a hunter? Where would you go fishing?
My father owned a boat, so we would go into the ocean.
Were you in the practice of carrying a pocket knife?
No, but when we went fishing, it was not that great.
Were you ever trained in how to use a knife? In May of 2022, where were you living?
45 degrees.
Same place you're living today? How long have you lived at that home?
About 5 years, 6 years, I think.
Mr. Valle, I'm sorry, I am going to have to ask you to just please raise your voice and respond, and people are having difficulty hearing you. Thank you.
Around 5 to 6 years.
Okay. Prior to that, you had still been living in Milford, but just in a different home or somewhere else?
Yeah.
And you were in your junior year of high school in May of 2022. Is that what you told us? Had you started applying to any colleges yet?
Yes.
Which colleges?
Mainly in Florida.
And you told us you knew a girl named Mackenzie Trafficante because she was your girlfriend.
Yes.
And how did you meet Ms. Trafficante?
She was a cheerleader and I was on the football team, so I saw her quite often.
And did you take her to the prom that spring?
I did.
Was that your prom or her prom?
Her prom.
And why were you allowed to go?
She was a senior, so it was her prom, and they're allowed to bring anybody they want, pretty much.
And when did that prom take place?
May 13th, 2022.
May 13th, 2022? Did you attend that with any other couples, or was it just you and Ms. Trafficante?
Yeah, I attended it with Tyler De Silva and whoever he went with. I don't remember who he went with. And a few other people in my grade who wanted to go to the prom as well. Found a date.
You mentioned knowing a boy named Jack Snyder,
Yes.
and you mentioned going to the prom with him as part of a group.
Yes.
And who was Jack Snyder to you?
Really a football teammate and a classmate.
Was he part of your close friend group?
I'd say I was really close with 2 people, but I was friendly with everybody. So.
Had you known Mr. Snyder since coming to St. Joseph's High School?
No.
I'm going to repeat the judge because I'm having trouble hearing you. If I'm having trouble hearing you, I'm sure everybody else is, okay? Got to really make an effort for us to keep your voice up. Are you nervous? I understand. We need to be able to hear you, though, okay? And you told us that you knew a boy named Tyler De Silva.
Yes.
Did you meet him when you came to St. Joseph's High School?
No, I knew him before.
And how long had you known Mr. De Silva?
Since I started playing football in Milford around the age of like 8, I would say.
Okay. And in May of 2022, how old were you?
16 years old.
So at that point, you'd known Mr. De Silva for about 8 years, you think?
Yes.
Would you describe Mr. Snyder as a close friend?
No.
Would you describe Mr. De Silva as a close friend? What makes him somebody that you would describe as a close friend?
Been through everything with Tyler De Silva. Every free weekend we had, we spent together. Parties together. Just together all the time, pretty much.
Okay. Are you still close with Mackenzie Trafficante?
No.
When was the last time you saw Ms. Trafficante?
In court.
Here?
Yes.
When was the last time that you saw Tyler De Silva?
Here in court as well.
And when was the last time that you saw Mr. Snyder?
Here in court as well.
When we say the last time, from May 14th of 2022 until here in court, had you seen them at all?
No.
When was the last time that you were close with them?
Before this all happened.
Okay. So you say before this all happened. When we're talking about this all happened, we're talking about May 14th, 2022, are we not?
Yes.
Do you remember how that day began?
Yes.
How?
Prom was the night before. I woke up, texted my girlfriend, and arranged to hang out with her.
That was Mackenzie Trafficante?
Yes.
Was there anybody else at home at that time?
My mother and my younger brother.
And did you have any plans with them for that day?
Later at night, yeah, but for the day, no.
And what were they doing that day?
They were leaving to Florida on the same night to go visit my oldest brother and my nephew.
Were you planning at that point to go with Ms. Trafficante for the day?
Yes.
And you mentioned that you had texted her. Did you end up making plans with her?
Yes.
And what did you do with Ms. Trafficante?
We went to the beach and a little bit of hiking.
When you say you went to the beach, can you tell us where?
In Milford.
Do you recall what beach that was?
Gulf Beach.
I'm sorry?
Gulf Beach.
Gulf Beach? And you say you went hiking as well. Can you tell us where you went hiking?
Downtown, there's like a little trail through the woods and stuff and a little pier.
And what time did you meet up with Ms. Trafficante that day?
I want to say early afternoon, but I can't remember the exact time.
How did you come to be with Ms. Trafficante? Did she drive to you? Did you drive to her?
I went to pick her up.
Did you have your own car?
Yep.
And after going to the beach and hiking, what did you do next?
By that time, it was later in the afternoon, and we went back to my house.
In Milford?
Yes.
And what did you do when you got back to the house?
Just chill, relax. Nothing special.
Was there anybody else home when you got home?
My mother and my younger brother.
And what were they doing, if anything?
I can't recall.
Did you have any plans for that evening?
At that time, no.
You say at that time no. Did there later come a time when you did make some plans for that evening?
Yes.
And how did that come to be?
I believe Tyler had texted me about a party that was going on, and he asked me to come with him.
That's Tyler De Silva. Okay. And did you agree to go with him?
Yes.
Did Ms. Trafficante go along as well?
Yes.
And how did you end up going to that party?
Yes.
And where was that party?
Shelton, 5 Lazy Brook Road.
And did you know the people that lived at 5 Lazy Brook Road?
At the time, no.
And how did you get to that party?
Jack came and picked me and my girlfriend at the time up.
And when you say Jack, that's Jack Snyder?
Yes.
But you owned your own car?
Yes.
Why was Jack driving this group to this party?
We all like drinking, and he was mainly the one who would drive us around and stuff.
Okay. So it was understood that there would be some underage drinking going on at this party? Did you bring your own alcohol?
I did not.
Did anybody in your party bring alcohol?
Tyler De Silva.
Okay. Were you with him when he got that alcohol?
He got it from his parents. We never stopped to get it.
I couldn't hear the end part.
We never stopped to get it.
You never stopped to get alcohol?
No.
And was that fairly standard for his parents to supply the alcohol when you were with him?
Yeah.
Did Mr. Snyder come to pick you up at your home?
Yes.
Was Mr. De Silva already with him?
Yes.
Was there anybody else in the car?
My girlfriend at the time, Mackenzie Trafficante.
Okay. Anybody else other than the four of you?
No.
And did the four of you leave in Jack Snyder's car and go to 5 Lazy Brook?
Yes.
How long did it take to get there?
Anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes.
And what was it like in the car on the way there?
Chill, drinking, listening to music.
Loudly?
Yes.
Was that fairly standard as well?
Yeah, always.
Did you bring any alcohol in the car?
No.
Did you drink alcohol in the car?
Yes.
Did Tyler De Silva drink alcohol in the car?
Yes.
Did Jack Snyder drink alcohol in the car?
Yes.
While driving?
Yes.
Did you bring any weapons in the car?
No.
Did you see any weapons in the car?
No.
Did you know if anybody else brought weapons in the car?
No.
You told us it took about 15 to 20 minutes to get to 5 Lazy Brook? What time did you arrive at 5 Lazy Brook?
Around 8 or 9 p.m.
Was it dark already?
Yeah.
Was it dark when you left the house to get there?
About to be.
And what was going on at 5 Lazy Brook when you got there?
Upon getting there, we texted somebody who was already there to come show us the way in, and we walked up and went inside.
When you say we texted somebody, did you text somebody?
No, Tyler De Silva.
So Tyler De Silva texted somebody, and did someone come to allow you into the party?
Yeah,
Where did they meet you?
in the driveway.
Do you remember who it was?
I believe Will Singewold.
Will Singewold came to let you into the party?
Yes.
And who's Will Singewold?
He was in my grade. We played football together.
Okay. Did you see anyone else that you knew at the party?
Yeah, there was a ton of people from my grade, and I pretty much know everybody there.
Okay. Was this a party that consisted of St. Joseph's High School students?
Yeah.
Did you see any folks there that were not St. Joseph's High School students?
No.
And what did you do once you were into the party?
Greeted everybody. Started talking, conversating.
Do you remember what you were wearing that evening?
Was wearing Old Miss blue T-shirt, black jeans, and slides.
Slides. What do you mean by slides?
Not flip-flops, but they were a form of sandals, pretty much.
All right. Let's see if I understand what a slide is. Is this a sandal that has a strap that goes across the top?
Yes.
Just a single strap?
Yes.
And at some point, did you put on a neck pillow?
Yes.
And why did you put on a neck pillow?
At the time, I thought it was funny.
Okay. Were you doing anything in particular when you put on that neck pillow?
Yes, we were playing beer pong.
Okay. And is that a contact sport?
No.
So the neck pillow didn't have anything to do with the game of beer pong?
No.
It was just to be funny?
Yeah,
And at some point, did you also put on a motorcycle helmet?
I did.
And did you bring that with you?
No.
And where did you find that?
Next to the beer pong table, there was a shelf with a whole bunch of random items.
Okay. And is that where you also found the neck pillow?
Yes.
And you put both of those things on?
Yes.
And how long did you have those things on while you were playing this game?
The motorcycle helmet, we were kind of passing it around as like a good luck thing when we were shooting in beer pong.
Oh.
It was off and on.
Okay. So you would take it off, you would pass it to whoever else was up to bat, so to speak?
Yes.
And the neck pillow, was that something that you also passed around, or were you the only one wearing that?
No, I was the only one wearing that.
How long were you there at the party just engaged in this behavior you've described?
About an hour and a half.
And after an hour and a half, did there come a time when some people arrived that you were not familiar with?
Yes.
And how did you become aware of these people?
We were by the door, as that side of the beer pong table was by the door of the garage, and they came up.
When you say they came up, what did you see?
2 kids arrived and came up to the door.
And what did those 2 kids do?
At first, they just said that they were invited by Austin Leifer.
Objections to what they said. Ask that it be stricken.
Court will strike the response that was provided to that question. So ladies and gentlemen, jury, please delete that from your notes if you took a note, and otherwise don't consider it as evidence.
Did you know either of those 2 folks?
I did not.
And did it appear to you that other people in the party knew who those 2 people were?
No.
Did it appear to you that Jack Snyder knew who they were?
No.
Where was Jack Snyder at this point?
By the door.
Where was Tyler De Silva at this point?
By the door.
And did you see Jack Snyder interact with these 2 people who showed up?
First, yes.
What did you see Jack Snyder do at first?
Just conversate.
Did you see Tyler De Silva interact with these people?
At first, no.
And what was he doing?
We were still playing beer pong.
So you and Tyler De Silva were playing beer pong, and Jack Snyder was interacting with these folks.
Yes.
And did there come a point when that interaction became aggressive between the two of them?
Yes.
And did there come a point when Mr. Snyder took a case of beer from one of the two?
Yes.
And what happened after that?
It moved out into the driveway, and then a fight started.
And when you say it moved out into the driveway and then a fight started, describe for us what people did once the group moved out into the driveway.
I can't really remember who all was around, but I remember Jack and the other kid were close to each other.
And did they square off with one another?
Yes.
Where were you when they squared off with one another?
Off to the side.
Did you put the helmet on in order to go outside?
Objection.
No.
Leading.
Sustained. I'll strike the response, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
When you went outside, what were you wearing?
A motorcycle helmet and my regular clothes.
And when you got out to the driveway, were you engaged at all with Mr. Hines at that point?
No.
Was Mr. Snyder engaged with Mr. Hines at that point?
No.
But at some point you've described they started to square off.
Yes.
And what positions did the other people that were there take at that point?
They just started circling, like trying to get a better position on each other. I wasn't really paying attention to anybody else.
Okay. And did there come a time when you came into contact with one of them?
Yes.
Who was that?
Ryan Hines.
And how did you come in contact with Mr. Hines?
As he was circling, since I didn't have shoes on, he stepped on my foot and I pushed him.
You pushed him?
Yes.
Did you punch him?
No.
After you pushed him, did you continue to attack him?
No.
What did you do?
He tackled Jack and was beating on him while he was on the floor.
I'm sorry?
He was beating on him while he was on the floor.
Who was beating on him while he was on the floor?
Ryan was getting the better of Jack.
Ryan was getting the better of Jack?
Yes.
What happened next?
We went over to break it up. He wasn't getting off at first, so we started pulling him off.
You started pulling him off?
Yes.
Did you take off your helmet?
No.
Did you swing your helmet?
No.
Were you intending to fight Mr. Hines?
No.
Did you use your helmet in any way to attack Mr. Hines?
No.
As you were pulling, or as you were getting involved with this fight that's going on between Mr. Hines and Mr. Snyder, what were the other people doing?
There was a couple people watching. Tyler De Silva was helping me break it up.
And what did you do?
Still was trying to pull him off.
By doing what? What were you doing with your hands? Describe for us what occurred.
I was grabbing him by his waist, trying to pull him off of Jack.
You were grabbing Mr. Hines by the waist?
No.
Were you punching him?
No.
Were you kicking him?
No.
Did anybody else come over to join you?
Other than Tyler De Silva, no.
Did you see anybody filming this?
At the time, no.
Have you since, as we sat in the courtroom, seen a video of what appears to be the fight at 5 Lazy Brook?
Yes.
And did you see other people come over to join this breaking up of the fight?
Yes.
Did you know any of those other people?
Yes.
Who did you know?
Emily Robinson.
How did you know Emily Robinson?
Just seen her in school a few times. I really didn't know her.
Okay. after the fight was broken up, what happened next?
Miss Leifer came outside,
Who's Miss Leifer?
the mom of Maddie Leifer.
Was she the homeowner?
Yes.
Had you met Miss Leifer before?
No.
And what did Miss Leifer do at that point?
She came up, snatched the beer from Jack that he was holding, and gave it back to the kid and said, "Get out of here."
And what else did she do, if anything?
At that time, she walked over to the garage and was able to see like how many people were actually at her house.
Did you go back to the party?
I did.
I'm sorry?
I did.
And how long did you remain at the party?
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. And did you come to leave the party at some point?
I did.
And why did you leave the party?
Miss Leifer had shut it down
How did you leave the party?
with Jack Snyder,
Anybody else?
Tyler De Silva, my girlfriend at the time. Will Sinjwald needed a ride, so he came. Same with Keenan and Dimitri.
So there were, at that point, 7 of you in Mr. Snyder's car?
Yes.
Where were you seated in Mr. Snyder's car?
Behind the driver?
And Mr. Snyder was driving?
Yes.
And who was in the passenger seat?
Tyler De Silva?
You were seated behind Mr. Snyder.
Yes.
And where was Ms. Traficante seated?
Sit on my lap.
Who was beside you and Ms. Traficante?
To my right, it was Will Sinjwald, and then to his right, it was Keenan.
To his right was Keenan Prasic.
Yes.
He was against the passenger side rear door.
Yes.
And where was Mr. Arfanis?
In the trunk.
Was there a plan at that point for what to do?
It was still kind of early in the night, so we were looking for another place to go if there was another party and where we were going to go next.
At that point, did you have any weapons on you?
No.
Were you planning to go fight anyone?
No.
Did you see anybody else in your group with weapons?
No.
What was Jack Snyder doing at this point?
Just driving?
Did you know where he was driving you to?
No.
What was Tyler De Silva doing at this point?
In the front talking to Jack?
Could you hear what they were saying?
No.
And what was the music like if it was on?
Loud?
And what were you doing at this point?
Just talking to my girlfriend and Will. Conversating.
And were you doing any texting at this point on your phone?
No.
Did you have your phone with you?
Yes.
Did other people have their cell phones with them?
Yes.
Could you see anybody on their cell phone at that point?
I saw Jack Snyder on and off his phone while driving.
And where did the car go?
We ended up at Trumbull High School.
You say you ended up at Trumbull High School. Is that someplace that you'd been before?
Only for football games.
As the car was driving, did you know that you were heading towards Trumbull High School?
No.
And what was going on when you arrived at Trumbull High School?
There was a couple cars from the party before that were also trying to figure out what to do.
And did Jack Snyder stop the car there?
Yes.
Did you see anyone there that you knew?
Yes.
Who?
The car closest to us was a car full of girls, and there was 3 of them that were in my grade.
Okay. Do you remember who they were?
I only remember the driver.
And who was that?
Maya Fagan.
I'm sorry?
Maya Fagan.
How did you know Maya Fagan?
She was a friend of mine in the same grade. She was also a cheerleader.
Did she know Ms. Traficante?
Yes.
And did Mr. Snyder park the car?
Yes.
And what did the people in Mr. Snyder's car do?
A few people got out. No, I don't think anybody stayed in the car.
Did you get out of the car?
At one point, yes.
And did Ms. Traficante get out of the car?
Yes.
And what did you do when you got out of the car?
Talked to the car full of girls.
Okay. And did you see what the other people were doing?
I saw Jack and Tyler go over to another car, and I can't remember what Dimitri and Keenan were doing.
You saw Jack and Tyler go over to another car?
Yes.
Do you know who was in that other car?
No.
Did there come a time when folks got back into Mr. Snyder's car?
Yes.
What led to people getting back into Mr. Snyder's car?
Everybody was getting back in their cars, and I was assuming we had someplace to go now.
You say you were assuming that you had someplace to go. Was there a plan at that point of where to go?
One of the girls in the other car had told me about a
Objection as to what they said.
Without telling us what anybody said, and as you understood it, was there a plan to go somewhere else at that point when you got back into Jack Snyder's car?
another party in Trumbull.
Another party in Trumbull.
Yes.
Okay. And did you at some point become aware of a group chat that was going on?
Yes.
Was this a group chat that you had created?
No.
Were you a part of this group chat?
Yes.
How did you become a part of this group chat?
I got added to it.
You got added to it? How did you know that you had been added to it?
As soon as you're added to a group chat and people are texting in it, you get a notification that pops up.
And did you get a notification?
Yes.
When you got that notification, did you look at your phone?
Yes.
And what was the nature of the texts that were going back and forth on this group chat?
There was a lot of people in it, and they were just talking crap to each other back and forth.
Did you know any of the people that were in that group chat?
Yes.
Who?
A couple of my friends I noticed were in there from my football team. Some kids that weren't even around, they were at farmhouses in different states or stuff like that.
Did you ask Jack Snyder or Tyler De Silva to add you to the group chat?
No.
Did you ask anyone to add you to the group chat?
No.
And what was the tone of the group chat?
Not positive. It was just people talking shit to each other pretty much.
Did you participate in the group chat after you were added?
Yes.
What was the nature of your participation in the group chat?
Around the same time we were leaving Trumbull High School, I texted in it.
Do you recall how many texts you sent?
No.
Do you recall how many texts you received?
No.
This occurred while you were leaving Trumbull High School?
Around the same time, yeah.
Did there come a point when you realized that you were not going to another party in Trumbull?
Yes.
How did you come to realize that you weren't going to another party in Trumbull?
After driving for a little bit, Jack had turned down the music, and I asked him where we were going.
Okay. And what did you learn from Jack at that point?
He said
Objection as to what he said.
As to what Jack said.
I asked what he learned.
You just can't tell us what Jack said. Okay, it's what you learned upon speaking.
So what did you learn from Jack about where you were going or where he was driving the car?
we were going to a house in Shelton,
And do you recall what the address of the house in Shelton was?
43 Laurel Glen.
Was that an address that you had seen in the group chat?
Yes.
Was that an address that you were familiar with before having seen it in the group chat?
No.
Had you ever been to 43 Laurel Glen Drive before?
No.
Did you know whose home that was?
No.
Did you remain in the group chat?
No.
When you say no, did you leave the group chat?
Yes.
And how do you leave a group chat?
You click on the top, and then there's a little drop down that you can click leave.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
Why did you leave the group chat?
While they were going back and forth, there was a picture sent into the group chat.
What was that picture?
It was just a group of kids, and upon looking at the picture, I noticed that I recognized a few of the kids that were in the picture.
And how did you recognize those kids that were in the picture?
A couple of the kids, I wouldn't say I was friends with, but I had seen them at other parties, drank together, stuff like that.
Did you recognize any of those kids from 5 Lazy Brook?
I don't remember.
Did you understand that those were the same kids that were texting the address of 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Yes.
Were those kids that you saw in that selfie kids from St. Joe's?
No.
Why did seeing that picture cause you to leave the group chat?
I don't want problems with people I'm like cool with.
Did Mr. Snyder continue to participate in the group chat?
Objection, he says he left, so how would he know?
If you know,
There's no foundation.
we could know, I just don't know. So I'll overrule it if you know.
At the time, I did not know.
Did you know if Mr. De Silva continued to participate in the group chat?
At the time, I did not know.
And what were you doing at this point in the car?
Talking to Will, I think we were drinking. I can't really remember.
Where was Miss Traficante at this point?
Still on my lap.
And did anyone in the car indicate that they knew where Mr. Snyder was driving?
No?
Did Mr. Snyder appear upset to you?
A little bit.
When you say a little bit, what about his appearance indicated to you that he was upset?
At Trumbull High School, there was a few people like teasing him for basically losing.
Did Mr. De Silva appear upset to you in the car?
No.
Did Ms. Traficante appear upset to you in the car?
No.
Did Mr. Sinjwald, Mr. Arfanis, or Mr. Frasick appear upset to you while they were in the car?
No.
Did you notice another car following your car?
No.
And did Mr. Snyder ultimately drive the car somewhere and stop?
Yes.
Did you recognize where that was?
No.
What did you see when the car stopped?
I saw a yard, and then kids started coming up to the car.
When you say you saw a yard, had you ever been to that house before?
No.
Did Mr. Snyder indicate to you that he knew the people that were at this house where you'd stopped?
No.
Did Mr. De Silva indicate to you that he knew the people at this house where he'd stopped?
I'm going to object at this point. It's leading, and it calls for almost like a hearsay response as to what they indicated to him.
I will overrule it based on the form of the question.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Did you have any indication that Mr. Snyder or Mr. De Silva knew any of the folks that were at this house?
Definitely not Jack. I think maybe Tyler said something.
Do you see behind you an exhibit that's up there on the easel?
Yes.
Can I approach you on? I just need to refresh my recollection. So on the easel behind you, Mr. Valle, is State's Exhibit 52. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you recognize that as the address which Mr. Snyder parked his car at?
At the time, you couldn't really see much, so now
Okay.
I'm...
Well, can you put us there? Describe for us what could you see when you arrived there?
I wasn't really looking around. The only thing I saw was kids coming up to the car.
And how many kids did you see coming up to the car?
I want to say it was like rows of people. There was about 10, and then at the max, it was probably 30.
And what did these people that you saw do?
At first, I had my window rolled up. I didn't know if I saw anybody I knew. Jack started conversating. Tyler started conversating. And then I saw somebody I recognized.
Who did you recognize?
Ricky Fiola.
How did you recognize Ricky Fiola?
I've drank with him before at parties. Just hung out with him. couple times at parties that we were both invited to.
And these people, did they stay on the driver's side of the vehicle?
No,
Where did they go?
all around the car.
Did they surround the car?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
All around.
Did these people go in the front of the car?
Yes.
Did these people go on the passenger side of the car?
Yes.
Did these people go in the rear of the car?
Yes.
Did you feel surrounded by these people?
Yes.
Once these people were on all sides of the car, what did Jack Snyder do, if anything?
I couldn't really hear his conversation. I was having my own conversation. So at that time, nothing.
Where was Ms. Traficante at that point?
Still on my lap.
Okay. Did there come a time when she was no longer on your lap?
Only when we got out of the car.
Do you recall her climbing into the trunk area of the vehicle?
No.
Where was Mr. Sinjwald?
Still to my right.
Where was Mr. Arfanis?
Still in the trunk.
And where was Mr. Frasick?
Still in the rear passenger.
And the conversation that you've described Mr. Snyder as having, without telling us what he was saying, how would you describe the tone of that conversation he was having?
At first, it was fine. And then it got really aggressive.
What about it was really aggressive?
There was a few kids shouting at him.
A few kids?
Yes.
And what was, you've described Mr. De Silva as having a conversation. What was the nature of that conversation like?
His was also peaceful.
And did it remain peaceful?
Yes.
And you said you were having a conversation.
Yes.
Was that a peaceful conversation?
Yes.
Did that remain peaceful?
Yes.
Did you throw anything outside the window of your car?
No.
Did you see Mr. Snyder throw anything outside the car?
No.
Did you see Mr. De Silva throw anything outside the car?
No.
Did you see anyone inside your vehicle throw anything outside the car?
No.
Are you certain that people were on all sides of the vehicle?
Yes.
And you've described at least one of these conversations as taking a turn and becoming more aggressive. When you say more aggressive, you described yelling.
Yes.
And could you see the faces of the people that were outside the vehicle?
No.
Could you hear threats?
Not that I can remember.
Could you see people hitting the car?
Yes.
What did that feel like inside the car?
It's weird to describe. I've never been in a situation like that. They were just punching and kicking and hitting the car from everywhere.
On all sides of the vehicle?
Yes.
Could you tell if things were being thrown at the car?
At the time, all I heard was the banging and stuff.
Loud bangs?
Yes.
Did you hear glass shattering?
No.
When you got in the vehicle that evening with Mr. Snyder, did you see a shatter in the windshield?
No.
Did you see Mr. Snyder with any weapons at that point?
No.
Could you see what was in Mr. Snyder's lap?
No.
Did you have a weapon?
No.
Did you have anything in your hands?
No.
Could you feel the car begin to rock?
Yes.
And did you see anybody on the rear bumper?
No, I didn't look backwards.
Did you begin to worry?
Yes.
Did you begin to feel unsafe?
I'm going to object. This is leading.
How were you feeling as the car was rocking and the hands were hitting the car and other things were hitting the car?
Nervous and a bit of panic.
You say a bit of a panic. Had you ever been that panicked before?
No.
Did you feel like you could get out of the car?
No.
Objection, leading.
I'll allow that, but just keep an eye on the leading questions.
Why didn't you feel like you could get out of the car?
Because there was so many people surrounding the car.
Could you see the faces of the other people in your car?
The only face I remember looking at was Tyler.
What did Tyler's face look like?
Pretty scared.
Do you remember what Ms. Trafficante was doing at that point?
No, I don't remember.
Did it seem to you that the situation in the car was calming down?
No.
I'm gonna.
Debate objection, counsel, but I would have sustained the objection. I'll allow the answer to stand.
Had you ever been in a car before while it was being attacked?
No.
What sorts of things did you worry about as you sat there with the car surrounded and being rocked?
Mainly that they were going to break the windows
Why did you worry that they were going to break the windows?
because they were punching them.
Did you worry that anything else might happen if they broke the windows?
At the time, I was just wondering why Jack wasn't driving.
Could you tell if the car was still on at that point?
Yes, it was.
How did you think it was going to end at that point?
Objection. That calls for speculation.
Sustained.
What did you expect was going to happen next?
That they were going to break the windows.
Did you have a plan if they did that?
No.
Anything about the demeanor of the people on the outside of the car lead you to believe that they were going to stop?
I'm going to object. That calls for speculation as well.
I'll overrule it.
No.
And did you see anyone in your car with a weapon at that time?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
At some point, did Jack finally move the car?
Yes.
And where did it go?
Straight.
Did you know where you were?
No.
Had you ever been in that neighborhood before?
No.
And did Jack ever stop the car?
Yes.
Could you see anyone outside the car when Jack stopped the vehicle?
No.
Going to, may I approach again, Your Honor? Take this one down from behind you. What you're looking at there is State's Exhibit 1. When Jack stopped the vehicle, do you have the pointer there with you?
Yes.
Can you use that pointer to show us on State's Exhibit 1 where you remember him stopping the vehicle? Your Honor, can the record reflect that the witness has pointed to the area just before the intersection of Farmhouse Lane and Laurel Glen Drive in front of what has been identified before as 36 Laurel Glen Drive?
So noted on the record. Thank you.
And what did you do when Jack stopped the car?
My girlfriend at the time was crying and asking to get out.
Question is, what did you do when Jack stopped the car?
I got out.
Did it seem safe to get out at that point?
Yes.
Did you see anyone from the house that you had just left at that point?
No.
And where did you go when you got out?
Side of the road.
Can you show us on Exhibit 1 there which side of the road? May the record reflect, Your Honor, that the witness is pointing to the side of the road opposite from what has previously been identified as 36 Laurel Glen Drive.
So noted on the record, thank you.
Did anyone else get out with you at that point?
Yes.
Who?
Tyler De Silva and my girlfriend at the time, Mackenzie.
Okay. Did anybody else get out?
No.
And when Mr. De Silva got out, where did he go?
At first, he was right next to me.
And when Ms. Trafficante got out, where did she go?
She went to the end of the road.
And so, in your recollection, the other occupants of Mr. Snyder's vehicle did not get out of the car?
No.
Where did Mr. Snyder drive the car at that point?
Straight.
Did you see where he went?
No.
Could you see any of the folks from 43 Laurel Glen Drive, the house that you had left?
No.
At some point, did you see any of those folks again?
Yes.
When was that?
When they came running down the road.
And what were they doing when you saw them come running down the road?
I believe screaming and just running.
Were they throwing anything?
Yes.
And do you recall what they were throwing?
I believe only one person threw like a water bottle.
Did it hit you?
No.
Did it hit anything?
I believe it hit the car, but I wasn't really looking.
Did you have any interactions with the kids from 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Yes.
Who do you recall interacting with from 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
Tyler Rich and Ricky Fiola.
And when you were interacting with Tyler Rich, what was that interaction like?
At first, he just ran past me and chased the car until it fully drove off. And after that, they all kind of started walking away. He was kind of asking people to walk away.
Okay. Did you have any one-on-one interactions with Mr. Rich?
Yes.
What happened between you and Mr. Rich?
As he was walking away, he came up to me and sprayed WD-40 in my eye.
Did you do anything to him when he sprayed WD-40 in your eyes?
No.
Had you done anything to him prior to him spraying you in the eyes with WD-40?
No.
Did you see the can close enough to be able to identify it as WD-40?
Yes.
What did you do after he sprayed you in the eyes with the WD-40?
I started holding my eye.
Did you attack him?
No.
Did you have a weapon on you at that point?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
What weapon did you have on you at that point?
I had a knife in my pocket.
Where did you get the knife from?
Before Jack left, he tossed it to me.
Okay, let's back it up a little bit. Before Jack left,
Yes.
when did Jack leave?
When he dropped off me, Mackenzie, and Tyler at the end of the road.
Before the Shelton High kids came?
Yes.
Put us there. Tell me how Mr. Snyder gives you this knife.
Mackenzie exited the vehicle. I got out right behind her, and then Tyler got out from the passenger. Me and Tyler were standing on the side of the road. Right before Jack's about to drive off, he says,
Objection as to what he says.
You can't tell us what anybody else says. You can tell us what they did.
he tossed a knife.
And what did you do when he tossed the knife?
At first, it hit me and then fell on the floor. I picked it up and said, "What are you giving me a knife for?"
And what did Mr. Snyder do at that point?
He said,
Objection, hearsay.
Can't tell us what Mr. Snyder said.
Your Honor, I would claim it not for the truth of the matter so much as the effect on the listener.
You want to lay the foundation for that because I'm going to ask the jury to leave just to leave the jury. To back into the jury for a few moments. Thank you. All right, Ms. Smith, I ask the jury to exit because as we've often stated with our phrase that we like to use, I guess we can't, it's difficult to unring the bell. So you're claiming this as not being offered for the truth of the matter. I'll see an offer of proof on that outside the presence of the jury.
Your Honor, he's just described what sounds like a surprising, unplanned event, and somebody has just thrown a knife at him, he claims. I'm not sure what he's going to tell us Mr. Snyder said to him at that point, but given the circumstances of the situation that he has described, I think it's important in a case where we're talking about what his intent was, in particular what his intent was with this knife, that we've already had other testimony about Mr. Snyder giving to him, and Mr. Snyder's version of what happened in that account. I think it's important to know what the effect was on him when he said this.
I don't know what he said. I know that the question was, why did you give me that, was what he asked.
Yes.
And then his response was starting with, he said.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what would be the effect on the defendant at that point in time?
Right. As far as understanding what he was thinking when Mr. Snyder gave him this and what Mr. Snyder is telling him as far as why he is giving that to him, I think in this situation and under these circumstances, again, whether or not it's true, whatever Mr. Snyder said to him, what the effect on him was.
Why don't you establish outside the presence of the jury right now what the effect was on the listener, the defendant, from hearing whatever the statement is before I make a decision, and then I'll be heard by the state.
What, you've told us that Mr. Snyder gave you.
Excuse me.
Make sure your cell phones are on silent, please. You've been asked repeatedly. Thank you.
Thank you.
You told us that you had just been thrown the knife by Mr. Snyder, and you asked him, what did you give me this for, right?
Yes.
And you were about to tell us what Mr. Snyder's response was, correct?
Yes.
What was his response?
He said something along the lines of just in case, and then it sped off.
All right. And what effect did that have on you when he said, just in case?
Confused?
Okay. And did that increase your sense of danger with the situation?
I'm going to object to that. He just said he was confused.
I'll sustain it. So the response was confused. I mean, if that's the effect on the listener that you're looking for, I'll hear from the state on that.
I don't think that it's even relevant at this point. If he's confused, he should just say, he could testify to whatever he's testifying to, and at that point, I felt confused. I don't think the statement of what Mr. Snyder says comes in for effect on listener at this point. And to me, I'm concerned with it. We're really bootstrapping here because we want to hear what he says Jack said for its truth, and that's the concern, right? So, Snyder testified. Defense counsel could have asked him what was said, and I believe he may have asked him what was said, and Mr. Snyder actually said no. The defendant asked him for the knife. So now we're getting into this bootstrapping of hearsay statements and trying to guise it under effect on listener. The response is what the response is. Now, if he felt confused, so to me, it doesn't come in for the effect on listener. That can be elicited without the hearsay response, Your Honor.
I have to agree. You can ask him how he was feeling at that point in time to extract from the witness that he felt confused. So the court is having a difficult time understanding the relevance of that particular hearsay statement, court's going to sustain the objection to the hearsay statement. Are you
Understood.
done? Okay, bring the jury back in. Motion reading on one. Counsel, if you could leave the door open. You could leave the door open, please. Thank you. Reading on one, jury. Thank you. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of our jurors.
State will stipulate, Your Honor.
Defense stipulates, Your Honor.
All court notes return of all jurors. All right, I believe that when the jury left, the question pending was what? That was the response.
Okay.
Thank you.
And how did you feel when he threw that knife to you?
Confused.
And what did you do with the knife?
Put it in my pocket.
Do you remember which pocket?
My right pocket.
And did you have that knife on you when Mr. Rich sprayed you with the WD-40?
Yes.
Did you at any point go into the bushes along the road there?
No.
You remained on the curb?
Yes.
Could you see where Mr. Snyder drove off to?
I just saw the car take off like straight.
Did it go out of your field of vision?
Yeah, right as he sped off, I heard the kids screaming and running down the road, so I turned my attention to that.
And did there come a point in time when Mr. Snyder returned?
Yes.
And what happened when Mr. Snyder returned?
All the kids that ran down had already left. We came back and everybody got out of the car.
Other than the interaction with Mr. Rich, did you have an interaction with any of the other Shelton kids while you were down there on the side of the road?
Yes.
Who else was that?
Ricky Fiola.
And what was that interaction like?
He saw Tyler Rich spray me with the WD-40 and he came up to me.
Did he do anything to you?
Just talked to me and like, I guess make me feel better about the situation.
When the vehicle came back, did Mr. Snyder park the car?
Yes.
Can you show us on Exhibit 1 behind you where he parked the car? May the record reflect he has indicated, the witness has indicated on Exhibit 1 that Mr. Snyder parked the car in front of what's previously been identified as 36 Laurel Glen Drive.
Court will go ahead and note that for the record. Thank you.
What did Mr. De Silva do at that point?
Me and Jack started inspecting the car.
And what did you do at that point?
I was still rubbing my eye.
What did the other occupants of the vehicle do at that point, if anything?
Mackenzie was still sitting in the same spot she was previously. I can't remember where Keenan and Dimitri were. I believe they were also standing by her.
Were you upset at that point?
Yeah.
What were you upset about?
And I got sprayed with WD-40 for no reason.
Were you angry?
No, more confused on why he did it.
Did you know Tyler Rich prior to that?
Yes.
How did you know Tyler Rich prior to that?
Same as all the other kids I knew from Shelton. Seen him at parties, drank with them before.
But you'd never been to that house before.
No.
Did you know that that was Tyler Rich's house?
No.
Were you still scared at that point?
Yeah.
Were you more scared or more confused?
More confused.
What did you do next?
I walked over to where my girlfriend was sitting,
Where was she sitting?
the same spot at the end of the road on the curb.
And what was her demeanor like?
She was really upset.
Did you, at some point, go over to inspect the car?
No.
What did you do next?
I asked Mackenzie for a ride home from her sister.
And was her sister present?
No.
And what did you do after you asked her for a ride home with her sister?
I started waiting there
Where were you waiting?
by my girlfriend and by the car.
Can you point out to us on the exhibit where that was? Had she remained in the same position during the course of these events at the end of the road that you've been describing to us?
Yes.
And what was she doing while she was waiting on the curb? Could you see?
She had her head down, like in between her legs, looking at her phone.
And what happened next?
Tyler and Jack started talking about going back.
Where were you at that point?
Close enough to hear them.
How far away?
Want to say 5 feet?
Away from them?
Yes.
And what happened next?
Tyler started saying,
Objection calls for hearsay.
Well, the answer seems as though it's providing hearsay, so I would know. The question was what happened next. Sustain the objection to the extent that the witness is going to respond with what someone stated.
Your Honor, may I remind the witness that he can't tell us? So, again, listen to the nature of my question. Okay, you can't tell us what somebody else has said. Okay, so you were telling us what was happening at that point. Okay, can you tell us what you saw Mr. Snyder do?
talk to Tyler De Silva.
Okay. And what was Mr. Snyder's demeanor like when he was talking to Mr. De Silva?
Agreeing with him.
Did he appear excited or upset or calm?
Couldn't really tell.
And Mr. De Silva, what did his demeanor appear like to you?
Confident.
I'm sorry?
Confident.
He appeared confident?
Yeah.
Mr. Valle, I don't mean to be rude, but do you understand the word demeanor?
Yeah.
How did his face appear?
He didn't really seem too worried.
Did Mr. Snyder appear not too worried as well?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, did they get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Who got into the vehicle first?
Jack.
And did he get into the driver's side?
Yes.
And did Mr. De Silva get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Where did he get into the vehicle?
Passenger.
And did you ultimately get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Why did you get back into that vehicle?
I was asked to by Tyler.
Objection. I would ask that be stricken.
All right, so the jury, if you wrote that down, please remove it from your notepads. Court is striking the last response concerning he was asked by someone else, okay? So that does not qualify or classify as evidence in this case, all right? Thank you.
When you got back into that vehicle, what were you thinking?
I trusted my best friend that everything was going to be okay and we were just going to go and make peace.
Did you understand that there was some plan to go and make peace in this situation?
I'm going to object, that's leading.
Sustained.
You've just said that you trusted your friend to make peace.
Yes.
Objection, he did not say that. So I would ask that it be stricken. This is leading.
All right, so I will strike the response, which was yes, sustaining the objection. Thank you.
You got back into that vehicle last.
Yes.
Where did you get back into that vehicle?
Behind the driver.
Behind the driver?
Yes.
And did you still have the knife on you?
Yes.
Was it open?
No.
Where was it?
Still in my pocket.
Still in your right pocket?
Yes.
Did you have your hand in the pocket?
No.
Were you scared to get back in that car?
A little bit.
Where did you think the car was going to go?
Back down to the house.
Did you think that was a good idea?
At the time, few interactions had already been peaceful here and there, so it didn't seem like the worst idea in the world at the time.
You understood that Ms. Trafficante was not going to be getting back in that car?
Yes.
Did you think it was a good idea to leave her there?
Yes.
Why?
There was other people with her, and her sister was on the way.
Were you upset or angry as you got into that car?
I'm going to object, it's asked and answered.
At the time that he got into the car, I don't believe that we've been to that location yet, so I'll overrule it.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. When you got back into that car, were you upset or angry?
No.
Not about your eyes being sprayed with WD-40?
No.
And did Jack Snyder drive the car back to 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
He did.
What was that drive there like?
Nobody said anything?
Was the music on?
No.
Was it a fast drive?
I can't remember.
And did Jack Snyder ultimately stop his car at the same house as before?
Yes.
Did you see any people in the yard?
Yes.
How many?
At first, they were far back in the yard, so I want to say 10.
You say at first they were far back in the yard. Were there any on the curb or near the street?
No.
And you could see 10 people in the yard?
About, yeah.
Did you recognize any of those people?
No.
Did they remain where they were?
Yes.
What did Tyler De Silva do when the car stopped?
He opened his door and got out.
What did Jack Snyder do when the car stopped?
Nothing.
Where did Tyler De Silva go when he got out of the car?
As soon as he got out, he started walking onto the lawn.
Walking?
Yes.
Not running?
No.
Did you stay in the car?
No.
What did you do?
As soon as Tyler got out, I got out.
Why?
It's my friend. I knew a couple people there. I was just going to help ease the situation, I guess.
Where was the knife?
In my pocket.
Did you have your hand on it?
No.
Where did Tyler De Silva go as you were following him out of the car?
We started walking up the yard.
May I approach Your Honor? Behind you on the easel is State's Exhibit 52. I'd ask you to use that pointer that you have and show us where you saw the initial 10 kids in the yard.
Kind of out of the frame.
Out of the frame?
Yeah.
But you could see them from where the car parked?
Yeah.
Where did Jack Snyder park the car? When you got out of the vehicle, was there anything blocking your path to the yard?
I got out from this side, so no.
You got out from the driver's side?
Yeah.
And walked around the car?
Yeah.
So when you got out of the car, did you lose sight of Mr. Da Silva?
For a second or two.
So you came following behind him?
Yeah.
And where did Mr. Da Silva go when he got out of the car?
We started walking in the yard.
Can you show us his path of travel?
We got out right here. There was a car here, so we went.
And he went onto the grass?
Yes.
And where did he go once he got on the grass, if anywhere?
I met him around this area, and we started to walk up, and we were approached by somebody right here.
Did you get up to where the red bush is?
No.
Did you get up to where the black truck is?
No.
Did you get any further than where the tree is in the middle of Exhibit 52?
Yes.
Where did you get up to?
Probably around right here.
And so you got just past where the tree is?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
After we were approached by the first person, which was a girl, she moved out of the way, and then we were approached by Tyler Rich and a whole bunch of other people.
And how many people were you approached by that included Tyler Rich?
At first, they were all in front of us. I'd say it was about 30 people spread out in a line almost.
Okay. And when you met Mr. Da Silva on the grass as you came around the car, did he indicate to you in any way that he was surprised that you had followed him?
No.
Did he indicate in any way to you that he did not want you to follow him?
No.
You told us that you recognized Tyler Rich as one of the people that had approached you.
Yes.
Did you recognize anyone else?
No.
Did the people, you've described them as being in sort of a line, did they stay in one area?
No.
What did they do?
Shortly after we were both in our own conversations, they started to surround us.
And you say you were both in your own conversations. Do you mean Mr. Da Silva and yourself?
Yeah.
How close were you standing to Mr. Da Silva when you were confronted by these other folks?
At first, we were right next to each other.
You say at first. Did there come a time when you got separated?
Yeah.
And so who or how many people was Mr. Da Silva engaged with?
At first, we were all talking to the same amount of people. And then after a little while, when I looked to my left, there was a wall of people blocking me from Tyler.
Okay. Let's break it down a little bit. You've said at first you could see Mr. Da Silva was talking to the same amount of people as you were.
Yeah.
How many people was Mr. Da Silva talking to?
Directly, 10. There was a lot of kids around, though.
And was he talking to any one person in particular?
Yes.
Who was that, if you know?
Tyler Rich.
Okay. Were there other people with Mr. Rich?
Yes.
How close were they standing to Mr. Rich?
Side by side.
You described them as forming a wall.
Yeah.
And how many people were you engaged with at that point?
Before or after they surrounded me?
Let's take it frame by frame. You've described Mr. Da Silva talking with a group of people, and you said you were talking with a number of people as well. At that point, how many people were you engaged with?
I was directly talking to about 4 to 5 people.
Okay. And how many people, were there people behind them?
Right next to them.
Were they shoulder to shoulder?
Yeah.
And where were these people positioned, if you can show us on the exhibit there?
was about right here. And they were right here and right here.
And did they stay just in front of you?
No.
What did they do?
They started to surround me
Did you have, how were you wearing your shirt at this point?
normally.
Did you ever at any point pull it up over your head?
No.
Where was the knife at this point?
In my pocket.
Did you have your hands in your pockets?
No.
How were you feeling at this point?
Nervous.
Why were you feeling nervous?
Because there was a lot of people just surrounding me.
Attorney Smith?
Yes, Your
So I just want to just give you a heads up that it's 4:45. Do you have a few additional questions, or is this a good time to break?
If Your Honor is inclined to take a break, I suppose this is as good a place as any to take one.
All right. All right.
Good morning, Mr. Valle.
Mhm.
I'm going to remind you again, you've got to keep your voice up. You are soft-spoken. We are competing with the fans, but everybody's got to hear you, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday when we were here and we left off, I believe you had taken us to the front lawn of 43 Laurel Glen Drive. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you were describing for us the scene there on that front lawn as you and Mr. De Silva walked up to a group of individuals that had come out of the house. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that you had told us just shortly before we dispersed for the day that you thought there were about 10 people facing you and about 10 people facing Mr. De Silva. Do you recall that?
Yes, but I'd say it was around 50 kids altogether.
50 kids all together?
Yes.
Were you counting them? How can you be sure that there were 50 kids?
I wasn't able to see behind them because there were so many people.
It felt to you like there were 50 kids,
Yes.
but you weren't counting 50 kids.
No.
Do you recall how many kids? Do you recall yesterday you had described for us that there were essentially two groups that started to form, one that was dealing more with Mr. De Silva and one that was dealing more with you?
Yes.
And how far away were you from Mr. De Silva at that point?
Once the two groups started forming, it was hard to say how far Tyler was from me. I want to say 5-6 feet.
Okay. And you had described that he was trying to have some sort of a conversation with somebody that he was dealing with. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Were you trying to have a conversation with anybody? What were you doing at that point?
Yes. I was trying to have a conversation with Ryan Hines.
Ryan Hines was one of the people that was facing you?
Yes.
How many other people do you remember that you were dealing with in the group that was facing you?
After they separated into two groups, I want to say there was around 25 to 20 people just on me.
And where were they positioned?
At first, they were just in front. And then once they made the two separate groups, they were on both sides and in front of me.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes. Thank you.
And I put back up there for us States Exhibit 52 behind you on the easel. Hand you a pointer and try not to drop it. Where do you recall standing as this group starts to form around you?
I want to say around 2.
Did you see anybody around the red bush?
There was people everywhere.
Could you see anybody moving around behind the red bush?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. When you described being surrounded by this group that's facing you, were there some kids that were dealing with you more directly than the larger group?
Once they separated us into two groups, everyone was saying stuff.
You've described interacting with Ryan Hines.
Yes.
Was he separate from the larger group in some way that you were dealing directly with him? Tell us how that worked.
He was just the person that I was talking to. There was people shoulder to shoulder with him, right next to him, on my sides, but he was the one that I started talking to directly.
Was he closest to you?
They were all the same distance from me.
Now, how far away from you were they?
Not even a foot.
That close to you?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd ask the witness to demonstrate with me what he was experiencing at that point.
If the witness is comfortable demonstrating, that's fine. Just please keep it in the well. Thank you.
Will you come down here, Mr. Valle, please?
Please, if there's going to be any statements, just make sure that you're keeping your voice up so the microphones can catch your statements. Thank you.
If I'm you, where is Ryan Hines?
Right here.
And is Ryan Hines as the same size as you?
At the time, I was a very small kid. I grew a lot since then. He was bigger than me.
And you're Ryan Hines. What is he doing?
First, we're just talking.
At some point, does he do something else?
Yes.
What?
After he starts yelling, I stuck my hand out as I was backing up from everybody, and he smacks my hand out.
Where were the other people that you've said were around him?
To my sides, in front of me, everywhere.
What did you do when he smacked your hand down?
I started slowly backing up even before that, and I continued to try and back up.
Take a stand, please. As you began to try to back up, what happened at that point?
I got hit.
Where did you get hit?
It was the side of my head, I want to say, but I couldn't really tell where.
And when you say it was the side of your head, could you tell which side?
I only found out after.
And how were you feeling at that point?
Everything just went black.
When you say everything went black, what's the next thing that you remember?
My face was in the ground.
Could you see where Tyler De Silva was? What could you see?
Just the ground. And people were just stomping and kicking and punching everywhere.
Did you have the knife in your hand at that point?
No,
Where was the knife?
it was in my pocket.
Could you see any way to escape?
No.
Did you try to get up?
Yeah.
Could you get up?
No.
Why not?
There was just so many people hitting me and just everywhere.
What could you hear?
They were yelling and just, it was so weird. They were just yelling like, I can't even describe it.
Did you hear anyone say, "Yes, sir"?
I heard a whole bunch of things I can't. That's a good.
Could you hear anything from Mr. De Silva?
No.
Could you see the vehicle that you had arrived in, Jack Snyder's car?
No.
Could you see any way to make an escape from your position? Where were the other people that were kicking you, as you've described it?
All around me, on top of me, behind me.
Could you see who was on top of you?
No.
Could you tell what the person or persons that were on top of you were doing?
Hitting me.
Where were they hitting you?
My head, the back of my head. Kicking at the front of my face. My ribs. Everywhere.
Did you get the sense that they were going to let you up and let you go?
No.
What did you do at that point?
I went to cover my head in like a fetal position.
Did that seem to have any effect? What did you hope would happen if you went into the fetal position?
That they would stop.
Did they stop?
They did not.
Put us there on that lawn with you in the fetal position. What were you feeling?
Hopeless, scared, terrified,
Why hopeless?
because they just weren't stopping.
How were you feeling physically?
Hurt,
What hurt?
everything.
Did you lose consciousness?
After the first hit, yeah.
What happened next?
As I was in the fetal position, covering the sides of my head and the top of my head with my forehead into the dirt, I was almost like hunched over, and I reached in my pocket and grabbed the knife.
What were you thinking when your hand touched that knife?
It felt like the only thing that would help me.
What were you seeing at that point around you?
My face was in the dirt. I couldn't really see. I just felt nothing changed.
Could you see Tyler De Silva?
No.
Could you hear Tyler De Silva?
No.
What could you hear?
Still just the same screaming. That's it.
Did the group give any indication that they were going to stop or let you up?
No.
What happened next?
After I took the knife out of my pocket, I started waving and just stabbing in every direction, just flailing my arm around.
Could you tell if you'd hit anything? Did that seem to have any effect on the attack?
No, it made me more scared.
Why did it make you more scared?
Because it didn't change what they were doing, and it didn't stop them from doing anything.
Were they still kicking you?
Yeah.
Was someone still on top of you?
Yeah, there were so many people on top of me.
Were you able to get up at that point?
No.
What happened next?
I kept flailing my arm around, just trying to get them away from me.
Were you aiming for anyone?
No.
Were you aiming for Ryan Hines?
No.
You weren't trying to kill Ryan Hines?
No.
What about Tommy Connery? You stabbed him 4 times in the leg. What were you trying to do to Tommy Connery?
Get them away from me.
Did there come a time when it was just you and Ryan Hines fighting one-on-one?
No.
Did there come a time when Tommy Connery separated you from Ryan Hines and was just there with you one-on-one, standing up?
No.
Where were you the entire time you were flailing? How were you feeling while you were flailing around with that knife?
More scared than before. Terrified. Just, it didn't make them stop even though I was flailing around a knife.
Could you tell how many people were around you at that point?
No.
What happened next?
It's in flashes, but I just remember getting shoved into the car.
Did there come a point where you were able to stand up? How did you get shoved to the car?
I remember while I was in the fetal position and like flailing my arm around, I like rolled on the back of my heels and tried to jump backwards.
Tried to jump backwards?
Yeah.
Can you show us what you're talking about? You come down here for the jurors.
Yeah. So I was like this,
Okay.
and I tried to get to my heels to like push myself backwards.
What happened?
It didn't work.
What do you mean it didn't work?
There was people behind me, and there was nowhere to move.
Were there people over top of you?
Yeah.
What do you remember that being like?
Chaotic and scared.
Take the stand again, please. So there came a time when you were able to stand up. Do you recall that?
No, I just remember somehow I got thrown into the car.
You got thrown into the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you see Tyler Da Silva at that point?
At one point, when I was at the car, I looked over and I saw Tyler Da Silva.
And what did you see Tyler Da Silva doing?
He was also on the ground getting beat on.
Could you tell how many people were beating him while he was on the ground?
I can't give a number.
And do you recall how many people were around you when you got shoved into the car, as you've described it?
As soon as I looked back, the first thing I was looking for was Tyler.
Okay. Did you see any of the people that had just been attacking you?
Yeah,
Where were they?
right on the edge of the lawn on the curb, somewhere on the street going back.
Did you see Ryan Hines anywhere?
No,
Did you know Tommy Connery before this?
no,
Did you know Ryan Hines before this?
no,
Did you know Faison Teal before this?
no,
Did you know Jimmy McGrath before this?
no.
You say you remember getting shoved to the car. Did you make it to the car eventually?
Yeah.
And what did you do when you were at the car?
As soon as I looked for Tyler, and I saw him getting beat on,
What was Jack Snyder doing?
nothing.
Did he say anything when you went to the car?
I didn't even open the car door all the way.
Why didn't you just get in that car and leave?
I saw my best friend, and somebody that I loved. Nobody was helping him.
How did you feel?
I was still terrified, but I couldn't just let him be there alone. I felt like I had to save him.
Did you think that Jack Snyder was going to wait for you if you went back in there?
Objection as to what Jack Snyder was going to do.
Sustained.
Did you have any indication that Jack Snyder was going to wait for you?
No.
You didn't open that door at that point and take out that knife and then go back and stab those 4 kids.
No.
You already had that knife when you'd been attacked on the lawn the first time.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Positive.
You weren't upset that you had been attacked and went back to get that knife? Had you known about that knife being in the car prior to that evening?
No.
When you got back to that car, you didn't get back into the car, right? Why didn't you just go running off back down the street, back down Farmhouse Lane or down Laurel Glen towards Farmhouse?
I just couldn't live down.
Why not?
He was my best friend. I looked at him like a brother. Like, what kind of man would I to just leave him there?
What did you worry might happen to him if you left him?
If he was in the same situation as me, I thought it was.
I'm gonna object. It calls for speculation as to what would happen to Tyler.
Sustained.
What were you worried about if you left and ran down to the end of Laurel Glen and Farmhouse Lane?
That Tyler wouldn't have made it out of there.
What happened next?
I found myself right on the edge of the grass and the curb.
How did you get there?
I just remember being there. I think I ran over.
What did you see when you got there?
Just another wall of people.
Did you see Tyler De Silva?
No.
Did you cross paths with Tyler De Silva?
Yeah.
You say another wall of people. Did you see Mr. Hines, who had been on top of you before?
I think so.
Did you recognize any other people that you saw there?
I saw a lot of people I didn't recognize, but I saw Matt Lockovich.
How did you know Matt Lockovich?
I've seen him at other parties before.
Did you go to school with Matt Lockovich?
I did not.
Do you know if he was older or younger than you or the same age?
I believe we were the same age.
Are you and Matt Lockovich the same size?
No. He was way bigger than me.
How did you feel at that moment?
Felt like the same thing was going to happen again.
Why didn't you just turn around and run back to the car?
There was no way I was going to be able to turn my back on that many people.
Why not?
I was just, there was no way to turn around without them really about to hit me or knock me down or something.
Did they give any indication that they were backing off?
No.
Did they start to back away from you as you stepped onto the lawn?
No, they stepped closer.
Where did you see people?
It was almost like a U, but wider.
Like a horseshoe?
Yeah.
Were there people to your right?
Yeah.
Were there people in front of you?
Yeah.
Did they give you any indication that they were just going to let you go?
No.
What did they do?
They stepped closer, and then I got hit.
You got hit?
Yeah.
Who hit you?
Came from the left side. I don't know exactly who hit me.
Where did they hit you?
In the right side of my head.
What did they hit you with?
I don't know. I think their hand.
How many people?
I don't know. As soon as they hit me, I fell, and I swung.
You told us before that you were wearing slides that night.
Yeah.
Were you still wearing the slides at this point?
No.
What happened to the slides?
They were gone. Just in my socks.
Was it wet on the grass that night?
Yes.
What else do you recall about being hit?
I just remember immediately after I got hit and fell, I swung.
What were you swinging at?
Anything.
What were you aiming for?
Anybody who was coming at me.
Did Matt Lockovich hit you?
I couldn't see who hit me.
Did Jimmy McGrath hit you?
I couldn't see who hit me.
When you swung that knife, did you feel it hit something?
No.
How were you feeling when you swung that knife?
immediately after I swung, and I had one knee on the ground, I slipped, and I saw behind me.
What did you see behind you?
There was like a little hole, and I tried to jump and run away.
A little hole where?
So I swung, and like I threw my whole body into it, and I slipped on the grass while my knee was down and faced backwards.
You're not asked the witness to come down and demonstrate this again. I think it's a little hard for me to understand what's described.
If the witness feels comfortable doing that, do you feel comfortable getting out of the witness box and demonstrating?
Yeah.
All right. Just again, please make sure to keep your voices up. I want to make sure that we capture any statements on the record.
You've described in your answers an interaction that I find hard to follow. I want you to show us what you mean by swinging, your knee going back. Demonstrate, please, for us what this is.
So, sitting here, man, on the ditch. Like this, everybody like this, and then you hit me. And I'm like this,
Okay?
and I swung. After I swung, I ended up like this. I was facing backwards.
When you say you're facing backwards, which way are you facing now? Towards the road or towards the house?
Towards the road.
What did you do next?
I was on my hands and knees, and I tried to like jump up.
Did you go to stab anybody else?
No,
Did you go to stab Mr. McGrath?
no.
You went to jump up?
Yeah.
Did something prevent you from being able to jump up, or did you succeed in jumping up?
As soon as I jumped up, I got hit again
Where did you get hit?
on the left side of my head.
Do you know who hit you?
I believe it was Faison Teal,
Why do you believe it was Faison Teal?
because I remember seeing the big dark colored arm.
What did you do next?
I fell on the pavement
In the street or on the curb?
in the street.
You say you fell on the pavement. What did you feel?
I scraped my hands on the floor,
Where?
on the pavement.
Where did you scrape your hands? The tops, the bottoms, the fingers? Your palms?
Yes.
How are you feeling at that point emotionally?
Scared.
Why?
You know, once I was on the floor again, there's a chance that they could all surround me again.
Could you see Tyler Da Silva?
No.
Could you see the car that Jack Snyder was driving?
At that point, no.
What did you do next?
I tried to lunge myself up again, and then I dove towards the car
Where were the kids that had been in the lawn prior?
in the road now.
Following you?
Yeah.
What happened next?
I got in the car.
Where did you get in the car?
The passenger seat.
Front? Rear?
Front.
Different than the seat you had been in when you went down to the house.
Yes.
Why did you get into the front passenger seat?
I was right there, and I just wanted to get in as quick as possible.
Where was Tyler Da Silva?
At that point, he was not in the car.
Could you see where Tyler Da Silva was?
No.
What did Jack Snyder do?
He tried to drive off.
Without Tyler Da Silva in the car?
Yeah.
How did you feel when Jack Snyder did that?
I screamed and told him to wait.
Did there come a point when Tyler Da Silva got in the car?
Yeah.
Did you have the knife in your hand at this point?
No.
You put it back in your pocket.
No.
What did you do with the knife?
When I scraped my hands on the floor, the knife was on the floor.
The knife was on the floor?
Yes.
You're saying floor. You would agree there is no floor outside where you've been. What do you mean by floor?
The pavement.
Did you see where it went?
No.
Did you try to pick it back up?
No.
Why not?
I just wanted to get to the car.
Did you see Tyler Da Silva with the knife when he got into the car?
I didn't really look back.
When Tyler Da Silva got into the car, did you see him then?
Yeah.
What did he look like?
His face was destroyed. He was holding his head in his hands.
Was he bleeding?
Yes.
Where?
All over his face. And it was like dripping down.
What was he doing?
He was holding his head and screaming.
In pain?
And in anger.
Anger at the kids in the yard?
No.
Anger at you?
No.
Anger at who?
Jack.
Can we see Exhibit 60, please? Do we have it? Sorry, I'll grab it. We're going to watch Exhibit 60 here, Mr. Valle. Can we just see the normal version? Young man, approach here so I can. Mr. Valle, you would agree that that video does not show the initial punch that you've described to the side of your face when the groups were standing up initially, correct?
Yes.
But you did see there at least one fight that's going on the ground, correct?
Yes.
That's not you, is it? Who's that?
I was so funny.
What was going on while we see Tyler De Silva being beaten on the ground there before we see you back at the car?
I was getting beat on.
Could you see yourself in that video?
In the beginning, you can see people hitting and attacking, but you can't see me.
Is that the splitting up of the two groups that you've described?
Yes.
One stayed to, as we look at that, the left of the screen, and one went over to the right of the screen?
Yes.
And as this video ends, we see a figure that's on the far right of the frame, but we don't see you, correct?
Yes.
Where was that figure standing in relation to the U or horseshoe shape that you've described?
On the end.
On the, when you say the end, what do you mean?
On the end of the horseshoe.
Was there somebody to that person's left?
Yes.
Was there somebody across the way from that person behind you?
Yes.
Did you know who that person was that was on the far right that we can see there at the end of the frame?
No.
Do you know now that that's a person named Jimmy McGrath?
Yeah.
You did not know him that evening. You described getting back into Jack Snyder's car. Tyler Silva gets into the car. How are you feeling physically as you're sitting there in the car?
I was in a lot of pain.
Pain where?
My head, And the main thing I was noticing was my ribs.
What happened next? Did Mr. Snyder leave? Did you remain there in that place?
As soon as Tyler jumped in the back of the car, he instantly took off. We started driving.
Did you know where he was going at that point? Did you care where he was going at that point?
No, I just wanted to get out of there.
And where did Jack Snyder drive the car?
He was just driving straight. And then at one point I told him to stop the car.
Why did you tell him to stop the car?
I wanted to check my ribs.
You wanted to check your ribs?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you check your ribs just sitting there in the seat?
Because I wasn't able to stand up and look at my whole body.
Did he stop the car?
Yes.
And what did you do?
Opened the door, immediately got out and used the car light, lifted up my shirt.
Used what car light?
Like, as soon as you open the door, the car light turns on. I was facing the car, right in where the door turns, lifted up my shirt, looked at myself, and then jumped back in the car.
I want to be sure we understand this. When you say you're using the car light, do you mean the interior car light or the headlights on the car?
Interior car light.
So you're facing into the interior of the car,
Yes.
and what do you do?
Lift up my shirt and look at myself.
And what did you see?
A whole bunch of bruises, but it felt way worse than what it looked like.
As you're standing there, did you take the knife out of your pocket and throw it into the woods?
I didn't have the knife at that point.
You didn't have the knife at that point.
No.
Where was the knife?
To my understanding, it was on the pavement back over at 43 Laurel Glen.
Did you make a plan to go back and get the knife?
No.
Why not?
I didn't want to go anywhere near that house.
Did Jack Snyder indicate to you that he wanted his knife back?
No.
What happened after you got out of the vehicle and used the interior light to inspect your midsection?
It lasted like a second or two, and I jumped back in the car.
And what happened after you jumped back in the car?
Jack started driving.
Did you know where he was going?
No.
How were you feeling at that point?
Still terrified and shocked. And I looked down and I was shaking.
What was Tyler DeSilva doing?
He was still screaming at Jack and holding his head.
What was Jack Snyder doing?
Nothing.
Did there come a time when the car stopped again?
Yes.
Did you recognize where you were at that point?
No. I just saw a car I recognized, which was Mackenzie's sister's car.
Who is Mackenzie's sister?
Madison Traficante.
And where was that you saw her car?
I just remember seeing it in the street.
Was that a street that you recognized from earlier in the evening, or was this somewhere else?
I can't remember. I just remember seeing the car and instantly wanting to get out and go in that car.
And what did Jack Snyder do at that point?
He stopped the car and let me out.
And what did Tyler DeSilva do at that point?
I didn't turn around. I don't know.
What did you do?
I went over and I got into Madison's car,
Where?
behind the passenger seat.
Who else was in the vehicle when you got in?
Keenan and Dimitri.
Keenan Frasick?
Yes.
Dimitri Arfanis?
Yes.
Will Sinjwald?
No.
Will Sinjwald was one of the people that had come with you earlier in Jack Snyder's car, correct?
Yes.
He wasn't in Jack Snyder's vehicle when you got out of it?
No.
And he wasn't in Madison's car when you got into it?
No.
So in the vehicle at that point, it's just you, Madison, Mackenzie, Keenan, and Dimitri?
Yes.
Was the music on in the car?
Yes.
Were you texting in the group chat at that point?
No.
What was Dimitri Arfanis doing?
I didn't look over.
And what was Keenan Frasick doing?
As soon as I got in the car and it started driving, he was looking at me.
He was looking at you?
Yes.
What were you doing?
Holding my head.
What were you thinking?
I was just in shock. Scared. I didn't really know what to think.
Did you call the cops?
No.
Why not?
I was just terrified. I didn't even know what to do. Or really what even happened.
And where did the car go?
Started driving to Keenan Frasick's house.
What happened there?
He and Dimitri got out.
He and Dimitri both got out at Keenan's house?
Yes.
So now it's just you, Mackenzie, and Madison in the car?
Yes.
And what's going on in the car at that point?
Nothing. I knew my girlfriend was still upset. Didn't want to talk or anything.
And what were you doing?
Holding my head and looking at myself. I was just shaking and I didn't even know what to do.
Where did the car go then?
We drove to my house in Milford.
How long did that take?
I can't remember.
Did there come a time when you arrived at home?
Yes.
What did you do then?
Before I opened my car door and I asked Mackenzie to talk to her.
Would she talk to you?
No.
What did you do?
I just walked up to my house.
Was anybody home?
Yes.
Who?
My mom and my little brother.
And what were they doing?
They were packing to go to Florida.
What was their reaction when they saw you?
My mom just started screaming and crying. My brother was just like holding his mouth open.
Did you explain how you'd been injured?
At that point, I didn't really know what to say. I couldn't even understand really what had happened, detail for detail. I remember telling her that I got attacked by a whole bunch of people. She just kept screaming and crying.
And what did you do then?
Started crying. And then I remember going upstairs to the bathroom, just washing myself off.
What time was this?
I don't really know.
Did you go to sleep?
No.
What did you do?
It was just, my mom was panicking. And she asked me if I wanted to come to Florida with her.
What did you do at that point?
I said yes.
Why?
Just wanted to be close to my mom.
Did you go to sleep at some point?
No.
Why not?
I couldn't sleep.
What made it so that you couldn't sleep?
Everything. The way I was feeling, mentally and physically, just, there was no way I was going to be able to sleep.
What did you do?
Everything was so fast. I think I packed like a little backpack, and then we left.
Okay. While you were packing, did anyone try to contact you?
Yes,
Who?
Mackenzie, my girlfriend at the time.
She sent you some texts.
Yes.
We saw those texts here. those exhibits.
Yes.
How did it make you feel when you read those texts as they were coming in from Mackenzie?
It just reminded me how I felt at the time when she was texting me and stuff.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 97. Well, I'm going to try. Okay. State's Exhibit 97. Do you remember those texts coming in?
Yeah.
And she writes, "Are you fucking serious? I hate you. Someone just called me and said you stabbed someone. You just ruined everything, Lito. Literally ruined everything for me. Answer the M phone. IDK what to do. Everyone is texting me." I want you to read for us. What did you write back?
I didn't do anything. I wasn't there. Stop texting anyone. Stop answering.
I'll show you State's Exhibit 98. She says, "Lito, everyone knows who you are. Everyone knows you're my boyfriend. What do you say?"
I know.
"Lito, everyone's texting me. What do you say?"
Stop answering. What happened?
"Don't talk to me." What do you say?
Okay, stop answering anyone.
She says, "You fucked up, Lito." What do you say?
How? I wasn't there.
"If my parents find out," State's Exhibit 99, "stop saying that." You say what?
Okay, stop texting, please, Kens.
"I'm not texting anyone." What do you say?
Don't text me. I'm going to Florida.
She says, "They're texting me. When? Lito, I need you to answer me, please." What do you say?
What, Kens?
And she says, "I'm so scared. What's going on?" The State's Exhibit 100. "I'm shaking," she says. "Can you please tell me? I won't tell anyone, I swear." What do you say?
I can't text anything.
She says, "I'm so scared," and you say what?
I wasn't there.
She says, "What's happening?" And what do you say?
No, I wasn't there.
She says, "I'm so scared, Lito." "What's happening? Please answer me." What do you say?
Nothing is happening.
State's Exhibit 101. She says, "Can you please call me? Can you call me, please? When I get home." And you say what?
Yes.
She says, "Lito, his sister just texted me. I'm so scared. I don't want to look." What do you say?
What did she say? Swipe it.
She says, "IDK, I'm so scared." And what do you say?
Don't answer anyone.
How fast were those texts going back and forth?
One right after another.
Were some of them coming in before you could finish the other one?
Yeah.
What were you thinking while you're writing those texts?
Overwhelmed and shocked. I just didn't want her to worry.
Were you thinking you could concoct some sort of a story that no one would know you'd been there?
I'm gonna object, it's leading.
Sustained.
You knew you had been there, did you not?
Yeah.
Or objection, it's leading.
Sustained.
That's to be stricken.
Court will strike the answer. Jury, please remove it from your notes.
Did you expect her to believe that you had not been there?
Objection, that calls for speculation as to what she would believe.
Let me hear the question again.
Did you expect her to believe that you had not been there?
Overrule, it goes to his expectations. You can answer.
No. I knew she knew I was there because she was with me.
Why did you say those things to her in that text?
Panicking, and I just didn't want her to worry at all.
At that point, Did you think that someone had died?
No.
What did you do after this chain of texts?
I remember trying to call Tyler.
Tyler De Silva? Why did you try to call Tyler De Silva?
To see if he was okay, what was going on. Called him 3 times, but he never answered.
Have you spoken to Tyler De Silva since that night? What did you do next?
Went with my mom, we got in the car and we drove to the airport.
Where did you go?
Florida.
Was that the next day, May 15th?
Yes.
What did you do when you got to Florida?
We were getting out of the airport and we were going to a car rental. And that's when I found out what had happened.
When you say what had happened, what did you find out?
Like the injuries and stuff.
What did you find out?
That somebody died.
How did you feel when you learned that?
I kept saying, no way. Like, that's not possible.
What did you do next?
I went over to my mom and I told her.
Did you stay in Florida?
Yeah,
How long?
like a day maybe?
When did you return to Connecticut?
Not sure, a day or 2.
And did there come a time when you were contacted by the police?
My parents were. Not me.
And did you learn that the police were interested in your parents or interested in you?
And me.
And what did you learn about why they had contacted you?
That somebody had passed away.
Did you learn at some point that they had an arrest warrant for you?
Yeah.
How soon after you got back to Connecticut did you learn that?
I can't remember. It seemed like 4 days or something. May have been shorter. I can't really remember.
When you learned that they had an arrest warrant for you, what did you do?
At the time when it came out, I was sleeping.
What time was that?
Middle of the day.
And what did you do at that point?
I woke up and I talked to my father.
Did you make arrangements to turn yourself in?
Yeah.
Did you go and turn yourself in?
Yeah.
Just one try.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Mr. De Silva, I'm going to show you some exhibits that have already been entered. There's been testimony that these are from May 18th, when you turned yourself in. Do you remember what time you went down to the Shelton PD to turn yourself in?
I remember it being really late at night.
Did you go by yourself?
No,
Who was with you?
my father.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 34. you remember this photograph being taken?
Yeah.
Where was that taken?
I believe it was at the Shelton Police Department.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 35. Was that taken at the same time?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 36. That photograph also taken at the same time?
Yes.
Can you see in there your eye, your what appears to be your left eye?
Yeah.
And does that accurately reflect the injuries that you had at that point?
At that point, yeah.
And I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 37. Is that the back of your head?
Yeah.
State's Exhibit 38. That the left side of the back of your head?
Yeah.
And where do you recall getting hit that evening when you were first encountering the people on the lawn?
The back of my head.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 39. Is that your right arm inside near the elbow?
Yeah.
Do you recall how you got these 1, 2, 3 scratches and some bruising?
No.
Did you have that before you were on the lawn that night?
No.
I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 40. Is that your right hand?
Yeah.
And how did you get this injury to the heel of your right hand?
I was trying to run back to the car. I got hit and my hand slid on the pavement.
This is State's Exhibit 41. How did you get this injury on the heel of your left hand?
The same as the one on my right hand.
Are you left-handed or right-handed, sir?
Right-handed.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 42. Is that the top of your right hand?
Yes.
And State's Exhibit 43, is that the top of your left hand?
Yes.
Last question is withdrawn. Mr. Valle, you're here today testifying voluntarily.
Yes.
No promises, threats, anything like that have been made against you.
No. Are you asking if I was offered?
Objection. Ask that it be stricken.
But anything after yes, no, in response to the answer is going to be stricken from evidence. All right, it's non-responsive. Thank you.
Had you ever seen Jack Snyder's knife before that night?
No.
Have you ever seen Jack Snyder's knife since that night?
No.
Had you ever used a knife as a weapon before that night?
No.
Had you ever met Ryan Hines before that night?
No.
Had you ever met Faison Teal before that night?
No.
Had you ever met Tommy Connery before that night?
No.
Had you ever met Jimmy McGrath before that night?
No.
You told us before that you knew some of the folks at that party on social. Do you remember telling us that?
I believe so, yes.
What in the world does that mean to know somebody on social?
On social gatherings, like parties, on social media, just that kind of thing.
Even these folks that you say you knew on social, did you feel like you knew them well?
No.
Did you want to kill any of those kids?
No.
Did you want to hurt any of those kids?
No.
What did you want to do when you were down there on that ground and all those fists were punching you and those legs were kicking you?
Get them away from me.
Why did you use that knife that Jack Snyder gave you?
I'm going to object. This is asked and answered at this point.
All
Felt like the only thing that was gonna help me get out of that situation.
Thank you, Mr. Valley. Nothing further.
Thank you.
All right.